Welcome to Lifestyles at the Not Jet Set, a travel show without flying. Today we're on the Neoliner Origin, a new French sail-powered freighter on a 19-day journey, starting in Baltimore, the United States, then to Halifax, where the ship made its first ever call in Canada, then Saint-Pierre, a small French island near Newfoundland, then eastward for the long transatlantic crossing, and tomorrow we will arrive in Lorient, in the Brittany or Bretagne region of France. The ship itself represents a remarkable mix of vision and practical commerce. The two tall masts carry two solid mainsails from a French manufacturer and two furling jibs from an Italian manufacturer for a total sail area of 3,000 square meters. But the ship is not some sailing pleasure craft. It is a real freighter, 136 meters or more than 400 feet long. The massive cargo area carries 5,300 tons of goods, such as cars, machinery, French cosmetics for sale in America, general container freight, and even entire boats. The shipping company has an upcoming contract this summer to deliver 1,000 tons of coffee from South and Central America to Montreal, where discerning consumers may appreciate the unusual transportation mode. The ship has a diesel engine and an electric engine and fuel tanks smaller than typical for a freighter of this size. The bridge is a marvel with displays showing wind forecasts, electronic navigation maps, and radar that would be available on any modern freighter, but also live-time information from the sails showing the forces in tons acting on the halyards and sheets. Wind power always is a key part of a climate-friendly energy transition, but usually there's a need for long-distance transmission lines to move the power from where it is generated to where it is actually used. In the case of a sailing vessel, the wind power is used right on the location where it's needed. For the first 9 days of this trip, sailing downwind in good conditions, the Neoliner Origin exceeded expectations for both speed and reduced fuel use. But we also recognize that technical innovation involves challenging experimentation and troubleshooting and improvement. Due to a problem with the mainsail on the forward mast, we've had to travel by engine for the last several days east of Newfoundland. One lovely purpose of travel, which we would not want to give up, is connecting with new places and culture. The crew comes from France and from West Africa. The passengers, over dinner conversation, talk about their childhoods in places like Romania before the end of communism, and France during colonial times, in Vietnam and Cameroon and Madagascar. The other evening, on a cabin balcony like this one, I spoke with Davide Lupinetti from Italy, a documentary filmmaker and adventure traveler, about his journey around the world without flying. His website, by the way, is davidelupinetti.com.
Davide, welcome to the show, Lifestyles with the Not Jet Set. Tell us a little about your non-flying travels around the world.
Thank you for having me. Yes, I left Italy 1.5 years ago, and the goal was to circumnavigate the world without flying. So I decided to travel east. So from Italy, I went through Eastern Europe, Eastern South Europe, Greece, Turkey, and then I entered Asia, a little bit of Russia. Then I did all the STAN countries until China, South Korea, Japan. I crossed the Pacific Ocean, went to Alaska, I crossed all Canada, and then from the US, I took this ferry where we met.
And so now we find ourselves friends and colleagues here among the 12 passengers on this ship. Do you find that that slower travel, offers you anything that you wouldn't get by just taking an airplane?
Oh, all the time. That's why, like, even after this trip, I would like to implement a bit of slow life into my routine, because I feel better with myself once you win, and I don't feel that the chaotic, overproductive life suits me.
That's so true. Like, I feel that exact same thing also. Can you think of anybody you met or any places you saw that stand out as good examples of something that you would have missed by flying?
Oh, I could give you hundreds of examples, but it makes me think of when I was crossing Tajikistan. I was at the border with Afghanistan, and the border is just a river. So if you want to, you can just illegally cross it. I don't recommend it though. And you would never be there if you fly, right? You would just go to the capital. And every day I was having conversations with the Afghan people on the other side of the bridge. And it was amazing. We just sit on the two sides of the bridge trying to communicate. And it was maybe the most powerful experience I had.
So here you are after this long period of travel, and I recall you saying that you're tempted even to keep going, that you don't want to settle down quite yet. So what are you tempted to do?
I just feel that it's not the right time for me to go back. Before getting on board on this trip, I was really tired, physically and mentally, because I had many experiences together, once after another ones. But being almost 20 days on this ship helped me regenerate, that I feel I want to make one last sprint before going back. So I don't know yet. I have a few options, but probably I would travel one more month in Europe, because I feel that I didn't describe much Europe, because I just left Italy and went towards east. So I don't know yet where I will go, but I would like to continue probably.
Well, Davide, it's a pleasure to have this conversation. Davide Lucmetti is a documentary filmmaker from Italy, and you can follow his information and his website that will be shared with you on screen. Davide, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me here, and please don't stop. Keep making these videos.
A second lovely purpose of travel is history tourism, which is the special focus of this video series. For me, travel without flying enhances the sense of connection to the people who occupy our history. In the quiet evenings while watching the ocean, I've been reading The Sea and Civilization, A Maritime History of the World by Lincoln Payne. In the pleasant passenger's lounge, on the wall next to the large windows, there's a painting that takes pride in the hundreds and thousands of years of maritime history. Ancient Phoenician traders, Roman grain ships, Norse adventurers who reached Iceland and Greenland and eventually Newfoundland, near where we were just a few days ago, and Spanish galleons, Chinese junks, and then, and here we can see the artist's rhetorical intent, and then finally this modern sailing freighter so suitable for a time of global climate transition. A third lovely reason for travel is to connect with the natural world. And here too, climate-friendly travel is far better than flying. Throughout the trip, the passengers have been keeping a sharp lookout and enjoying the birds and marine mammals, including seals and pilot whales. But a highlight of the entire trip, and really I can say without exaggeration, of my whole life of travel, was just last night, again from one of these passenger balconies, as we watched the dolphins right up close, keeping pace with the ship. Slow travel is more feasible than ever before, partly because of the technology that permits us to work from any place that has an internet connection. For me, this journey has been a writing retreat and a welcome opportunity to plan my courses for the fall. But the point is not that we should all take sailing freighters all the time. There aren't even enough cabin berths for that. No, instead, remember where this episode fits in with this show's steady 3 themes of climate-friendly travel. First, enjoying local and regional destinations. Second, choosing low-carbon modes of transportation when possible. And third, when we do travel longer distances, combining trips, spending more time on each one for fewer trips in total. For yourself, my wish is not necessarily a bunk on a sailing freighter, but rather to catch a contagious spirit of innovation and experimentation as you plan whatever low-carbon journey suitable for these strange times brings you greatest joy.